If not, okay. Does anybody see our? Do we have a live stream up?
No, not that I see him. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Testing. Well, right now it says we have one person in here. It's probably me.
Mine says 6, but it's still.
And we're back. Impulse, how do we sound and how do we look? More importantly, the sound, but can you give us some feedback how we're doing here? But these people who are members with their the level one and stuff next to it, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I
That's
like
it.
I
that.
agree.
The
Aaron
sound is
Butler,
good.
you got to get on board with the level 1. Can we get that from Aaron Butler tonight?
Hello, Nicholas. Okay, so it seems to be working pretty good
Oh,
so
really?
far. Do we
Okay.
want to so as long let us know if the sound goes bad again. But if things are going well now, we'll continue.
Yeah, let's go till about.
So
Let's just go till about 7 o'clock, and then we'll just wrap her up anyway.
okay, so what we're talking about here? Oh, in terms of roster spots available for the Browns. Yeah, I just don't think there's many roster spots available. So I think it would be smart to try to package some picks together and move up and get some higher value guys, just because there's not a lot of room on this team for fifth, sixth, and seventh round guys. That's just the way it is.
No, not at all. And
Could
I,
you
I do think we do need to get a little bit of depth in some key places, but we can trade up to get maybe a better value at some of that depth and get some rotational pieces.
What do you guys think? How many roster spots are available on the Browns? I said there's maybe 5 or 6 spots available. What do you guys think in the chat?
Yeah, there's not
So,
many.
um, what do you think is the Browns' biggest need?
I'd say another interior defensive lineman, for sure. Um, I was looking, and I talked to you guys about this last time. I thought that I could see us maybe taking a flyer as far as draft pick on safety, just because if we have an injury, as much as I'd love to see the Anthony Bell right now, and I don't have the depth chart pulled up, but it was literally Thornhill, Delpit, which I think those two work really well together. Then you had D'Anthony Bell and a guy I've never heard of. And that was it. And I know we have practice squad guys that we can bring up and stuff like that, but we're literally an injury or two away from just maybe being worse than we were last year at the safety position.
So
That's terrifying.
a lot of people are saying linebacker. Do you
Yeah.
think do you think do you think linebacker will be helped by the fact that we've bolstered the defensive line
Yes,
and
absolutely.
now guys aren't just going to be running free on our linebackers. We have guys who can actually eat up some blocks. So then in that is linebackers a big a need as we think because we bolstered the D line, or do you think we can go into the season with Taki will probably be ready? What, maybe 7 weeks in? I guess it depends on how his rehab's going. But then you got JOK. We re-signed Walker again. Is Raglan back?
I don't believe
Mm.
so.
Okay, so that. Um, but so what do you think? Is linebacker as big a need as we think it is, or do we think the improved defensive line play is going to help there?
I mean, I think the defensive line is going to help out a lot. As far as our biggest need, I still want to see one guy that can stop the run, whether it's a defensive tackle or a linebacker. I just want somebody who can stop the run. Because I'm not. We were so bad at it last year that did. I mean, losing Clowney and getting Tomlinson. Are we still going to have an issue with that?
Well, they're two completely different positions. We should be all right. And you can't forget we added.
Yeah, but the reason I brought it up is just because Clowney's kind of known for more of that run stop. So we were so bad against the run though last year.
Before we keep going, I just again for the people who are new to the chat, remember if you're new to YouTube, you can join us for 99 cents a month, become a member. Right now, while John's on the screen, we need this 99 cents. This guy needs a trim. I don't.
Stop.
Please,
John.
please get us some. He looks like Bully Maguire. He looks like evil Peter Parker.
No, he does not.
We need your 99 cents. Let's get this man into great clips. We'll do it live on an episode.
I am so sorry. I'm letting the team down.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Oh man, so I'm just messing with you.
Touch on what you were saying too.
Really.
As also, I think that we were trying to get very fast sideline to sideline linebackers. And then so now does that identity still fit what Jim Schwartz is trying to do? Because to me, Jacob Phillips, I don't know what we have there. You know what I mean? I really don't remember him being on the field a lot. And if he was, I wasn't impressed with what I saw. I mean, JOK is nice, but are we trying to be bruisers? Are we trying to be fast? And after that, there's not a lot of depth. You know what I mean? Especially if these guys, I don't know what Walker and Taki's as far as recovery is going to go like. But I mean, if we have to roll out there with, let's say, JOK, Jacob Phillips, and Tony Fields. I mean, I like Tony Fields as a depth piece, but man, that's pretty rough.
First of all, shout out to Impulse for becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate that. I feel like our linebacker core was built thinking we got to stop Lamar Jackson. But now Lamar, chances are he's not even going to be in the division. Also, with the new defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, he plays that wide 9 technique.
Right.
That's gonna force everything to let people get outside of us on the run. So if we're forcing everything to the middle, we can't be weak there because we're gonna be forcing them to the weakness of our defense if that's the case. So I think we need some beefier linebackers. I like JOK a lot, but so if you get a body on him, he's got to basically be a magician to not be blocked. Though he's like duck dive. He's like he's in dodgeball to get around a block. So we need some heavier linebackers. I think you saw last year when some of our starters got hurt, and we're bringing in these no-name guys that we never even heard of. The defense actually started to play better. I think just because they were heavier. Yeah, they weren't getting pushed around. They were at least weren't as good. So I think we need a little bit of beef in the linebacker room.
Fair.
Yeah, Gage says Fields is more of a special teams guy. Yeah, we completely agree. That's why it sucked to have to rely on him to be a starter.
Yeah. I know this is going to take it a little off track for just a second. Did you guys see that Tyreek Hill wanted to come to Cleveland?
I don't know if did he actually want to come to Cleveland, or was he just saying that because the guy's wearing a Browns jersey?
Yeah, I know. But it's worth looking into because this was, I believe it was that all happened pre Deshaun Watson. So, obviously you can't trade a first, a second, 3 firsts and have Deshaun Watson and Tyreek Hill and somehow still have any money at all. But I love the idea that that's a guy, a superstar, and he was willing to come to Cleveland and play. But he was just they didn't want to pay me. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, man. And we didn't want to give up 5 draft picks either.
Well,
we got one for a 5th.
And if it was before the Deshaun stuff, what we would have traded all that away to bring him in a guy so Baker Mayfield could throw him the ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would have been ignorant.
Yeah. I thought it was cool though. I love I thought even if it was just an appeal thing, I was like, man, that would be the fact that Cleveland was getting some love on there from Tyreek Hill. I was like, very cool.
Unrendered said he was trolling. I tend to agree, but we'll see.
I want to believe that he was legit on it.
No, I do think people, the media and stuff can say whatever they want about Deshaun, but I think players want to play with Deshaun.
Absolutely.
And I think bring in a guy with the credibility of Jim Schwartz. People will play for Jim Schwartz. I think ignorant Browns fans, might not be super high on Stefanski, but I think players respect his play calling and intelligence level. I mean, he's given a guy like Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kirk Cousins played really well for Stefanski. Baker had his best years of pro under Stefanski. Like, Browns fans might not like him, you know what I mean? But he's looked at highly around the league. So I think and Andrew Berry, I think is very much considered like one of the best young GMs. So I think the way that the league players around the league look at the Browns is way different than it was even 5-6 years ago.
Well, how many times was it? I mean, I felt like for weeks on end, we were right there in games. It literally came down to one play or one call or one shitty kick. So for me, I'm like, we're right there. I feel like we're very close. And to me, it looks like we've upgraded. And I know that we've upgraded. I feel great about how we've upgraded on defense as far as philosophy and leadership. And I think that goes a long way. And I hope that like now you have two leaders and then Schwartz just takes the defense. I hope that Stefanski doesn't even have to even deal with that. That will be Jim Schwartz's deal. He's got that. Kevin worries about the offense. And you see, I think he's going to be a great special teams coach. And I think he's got a very bright future. Like long term, I could see him. I don't know if he's head coach ready right now, but just what you've read about it, I think his future is very, very bright. He's very, very touted.
No, I completely agree. Unrendered wants to know how we're feeling about Marquise Goodwin, the signing of Marquise Goodwin.
I think it's nice.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I think he's a burner. I think he's a pro. He's a vet. He knows what it takes to be successful in the league. He's like the veteran, better version of an Anthony Schwartz,
who I think now is not going to make the team.
No, I think Schwartz is a long shot to make the team. Do you think Felton makes this team?
No.
How many running backs do we have? So we got Chubb, and we got Ford, and that's it.
Yep, and Felton.
So Felton might make the team just because we don't have a third running back.
The draft
unless we draft one.
The draft's going to be really telling. I forget who I was talking to today, and they were talking about Devon Achane from A&M. And, that's a guy Brian brought up. Blake, I know you weren't there yet for that discussion with Brian, but, he's a smaller back. He's the guy that we talked about being maybe that third down pass receiving back. But, the more I've watched on him, too, like he really did handle between the tackles pretty well. So he could be a sneaky ad for the Browns as kind of like a lightning to Nick Chubb's thunder if we wanted to go that direction.
I think Ford could surprise some people this year with touches.
I always like Jerome
touches
Ford.
Out of the backfield.
Yep.
So, well, we're coming up on the 7:00 hour. Our stream quality shit, anyways. So I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. To everybody who stuck around with us through the quality issues, taking even a 30-second break in the middle to try to get it going. We really appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate everybody who became a YouTube member. I saw Andrew Jackson said worked late and he's been driving. Glad he got to watch. You can make it up to us by pledging your 99 cents. I'm just giving him a hard time. Everybody in the chat, give a round of applause to Andrew Jackson. He is the longest standing member of the Dog Pack. He's been in the Dog Pack basically since it originated. He's been with us now for going on 3 years?
Yeah, almost 3 years.
Since we started that up.
Yep.
So everybody give him a round of applause. And Gage Tucker's in here too, and he's been there since pretty much the beginning also. So like I said, if you guys are interested in that, I mean, we talk to these guys literally every day now, every day. So if you like us, you think we're cool, you want to hang out, or if you just want to pick our brains even when we're not on an episode, if you guys want to be part of that community, again, I mean, Gage is from Texas, Andrew's from Kentucky, we got people in San Diego, and we all talk every day. So it's just a really cool thing. It's something. It's probably the coolest part of starting the podcast is starting that Dog Pack and getting to know we're like 50 some people from all over the world. We got guys in Scotland that we talk to every day. So it's super cool. So if you're into that kind of thing, join thedawgs.com. You can become an official Dog Pack member. On top of just getting to meet all these people, you get extra content. You get to have your voices heard more often. The after hours episode's literally what you guys want to talk about every single week. So it's just a good time for everybody. I think if you ask any of those guys, they'll tell you that it's pretty awesome. So we appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate everybody who became a YouTube member. We're a couple dollars away from being able to get John a haircut. I know he appreciates that. So we appreciate you guys all being here. And